I'm going to put this in again. So I've got. I'll just go here like that. If you lose animation, an easy thing to do is I can copy this, which goes like that. I'm just going to make sure. So this is probably the issue. So there, that goes like that, and then it goes like that. And I'm going to take this. See, this is you always have to make sure. This one thing when you're copying and pasting animation, and you're going to cycle it, you always have to make sure that it all stops and ends on the. For example, this is 31 frames. I can see, but here I have to make sure that this section stops and ends on 31. Otherwise, I'll get some. So I'm going to take this. Just this controller, it didn't paste properly. So I'll take this, select it, edit, copy. I'll go on to this controller again. If I can find it, this one. Yeah, and I'm going to paste it. I wonder, is it doing the... yeah, I'm going to paste it here. At frame 16, so I'm going to get rid of this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And I've got 16, which is the halfway point. And I'm just going to paste it. Okay, so this should do it now. So yeah, there we go. So I've pasted it on. It's the right length. I've just made sure that this, because I noticed this one here wasn't 32 frames. Anyway, so we got this. But we noticed there isn't very much movement in the upper torso. So what we need, what normally happens, again, it's like two pairs of legs, is when it is going to be going higher up, you're going to have movement upwards. When you look at the video, it kind of goes up as in a crossover position. See the body lifting up there? So at the crossover position, let's go, so you see, we'll go from this, say this one here, and then it's about 8, and then it's about 4 and 28. So 28, you know, you have, so let's see here, you have the body lifting up a bit. Translate up. So you go up. It's also going to be up on here when it's going at 23. So and it's going to be down on. Just copy this to and paste there. So we've got the same. This kind of echo. So whap. And where does the body drop down lowest? Let's have a look. It's about 2 frames after this. It's kind of dropping down even further. So you go there. And then you've got the pod there. 15, 16. 16 is going to be the same height, because it's the contact position of the other foot, so it'll be the same height. So it's be up and down, so you can have the same height, and then you're going to have it lower down here afterwards. So we're just getting, see, we're getting this kind of this cyclical kind of wave. So it goes up, down, up, yeah, up and down, like this. Okay, up and down. And if I think that maybe the foot could come a little bit further back, because I can drag it back a little bit, but drag the whole curve. And I could do the same for this one. Drag the whole curve back down a little bit if I feel it's coming out a little bit too far forward. Okay, so then you again, oops. And you can always make adjustments if you start getting weird shapes with the scapular controller. So anyway, so you've got this, that, yeah. Up and down, up and down. Now another thing, so this is the, I'll save this again, just in case it crashes. So you've got the up and down motion of this. For some reason I'm not allowed to. Is it going to collect? Right, let's see. There we go. Okay, so you got the up and down motion. You can see it up and down like this. You can always work into these curves. We're just going to do it. And I normally go pre-infinity cycle, curves, post-infinity cycle. And I'll just make sure that these two on the end are splines, so you get this kind of this wave, yeah? Up and down, you can see it. Now, what I also need to do is I also need to, just like what will happen is the pelvis will pull this way towards this foot. So if I go to the rotate Y, what I'll do is I'll start with the frame number 1. So frame number 1, it's going to be pulling this way, yeah? Frame 16 is going to be pulling. Yeah, you always when you're going to be pulling towards this foot. Yeah, you lean towards the foot that's extending, so you've got this kind of shape. And then, obviously, the last frame, I'll just copy it. First and last are going to be the same. Paste. I'll get rid of these two here. So then we have pre-infinity cycle, curves, post-infinity cycle. We have the curve for the upper body, yeah? Actually, well, this actually looks, I think I've done this wrong way around, you see. This curve needs to be, it's actually this way. So these two need to be down, because that's obviously what happens. And this one needs to be up this way, yeah? So you see what I'm saying? The shoulder always leans in the direction of the forward foot. So that's like that, yeah? So that's the first thing. Okay, so that's first. The second obvious, or no, maybe not obvious thing that the body does, and this is why it's very good to get, you know, decent reference, is the shoulder will rotate up a bit as the foot comes through. So, for example, it's going to be, let's get rid of these points in the middle. It's going to be probably a bit lower down here. And then as it comes forward, it's going to, you know, this is going to be kind of normal. So rotate Z, I'll make it, it'll zero it out. So you're going to have this, and then it goes back. Actually, maybe I'll just, what I'll do is I'm going to, I pulled it down here, but I'll leave it. I'll leave it without too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it up here, slightly here. So here is going to twist over a bit. So you got that twist and then down, and maybe a little bit of a drop on this here, and also you have to mimic it the same because it's a cycle here. So if I look at my curves, pre-infinity and curves post-infinity, I have this kind of like, and this will go the opposite direction too, because obviously this foot here is coming up at the other side. So then you're here, you've got this kind of rotation this way. There, so I'll get rid of that. And then I'll turn these to spline, and I'm just actually I'm gonna lift these up a bit, so we've got more like this shape. Okay, so we've got this kind of like this roll, yeah? 1, 2, yeah? And, you know, I'll fix the head. The head is busy moving around rather strangely, so we've got this. Yeah, so we've got this kind of thing going on, yeah? Now this will walk. Okay, now, this is the first bit, the kind of front legs and torso. I'll just save again. just good working practices, always version up. If you don't version up, just because the problem is sometimes one of your versions will get corrupted if you just save over it all the time. So, how do you do the back legs? Well, it's very simple. What you do is, to get the back legs working, I'm just going to paste the animation from this. And I'm only going to use this controller because basically for the back legs, they're articulated. That is, the bone structure is slightly different. So I'm just using it to get the stride length. So I'm just going to use this controller. I'll select all of these, copy it, and then I'm going to go to the back, this leg here, click on this, and go to the first frame, and I'm going to paste what I've got. Yeah. And you'll see, you got some. Now this is obviously it's a bit strange. The first thing that's strange about it is it's too far back, the back leg. But the other thing is, of course, the timing is wrong. So where do the back legs come in when you are doing? And they obviously don't look like this. So where do they? So if we look at our thing again, let's check this out. So let's have a look. So I just do it by counting. This is our front foot. Let's see what happens. Let's see when this leg touches down. Let's see what point. Okay, so I'm going to count through it. What frame? Approximately. Might not be perfect. So okay, if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so when this frame comes, so 6 is 15, say 16, when we know it's 16 when this frame comes down. Sometimes you might be a few frames off if you keep on going back to a video because you might be at a slightly different place. So 16 is when this frame, this foot comes down. So that's this bit here. Let's see what happens counting on. So let's see if that's 16. Let's see. 17, 18, 19, 22, 3. Interesting. Okay, so one way of thinking about it is this foot is touching the ground when this leopard, if you don't want to count, looks like this. This is the shape. This is what's going on. Now I can see that occurs about here. Yeah? So that would mean, yeah, because after that it is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's literally almost at the crossover position, actually. The foot is touching down. So I know the crossover position of mine is 23. So I'm going to take 23. I'm going to make sure these are cycled. Pre-infinity cycle. Curves. Post-infinity cycle. And I'm going to drag this. So if the crossover position is at 23, I'm just going to drag these to 23. Yeah? And now if I look at this is the kind of thing that's going on. Now here's the deal. This is not far enough forward. Sometimes you have to adjust curves. So I can see when the foot comes down. It's quite a stretch. So I can pull this foot. Maybe better do this in the orthographic view. I can pull this foot forward. Not too far, but maybe there, and I'm going to adjust the shape, see something like that, and then see how far back it goes. It's going, let's see, so it's going like this. I will adjust the shape of this, but then you have this. Yeah, so we have this. We haven't done anything with the hips, so you got the top ones going, and then you got that at the back. So what I'm going to do now is start getting the shape of this correct. So let's see, we've got 23. Right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to save again just in case this crashes. Yep, I'm going to